Ever feel like you're carrying the weight of the world on your shoulders? Like every small thing bothers you and you can't seem to let go? Whether it's stress from work, relationships, or just everyday challenges. It seems like peace is always just out of reach. But what if I told you that ancient wisdom, Stoic philosophy, holds the key to mastering the art of letting go? Today, we're diving into 7 Stoic principles that can transform how you respond to life's ups and downs. And by the end of this video, you'll learn how to not just get by, but thrive in a world filled with constant challenges. So stay with me. And let's embark on this journey together. Point 2. Context and background. Now, let's step back for a second and talk about what Stoicism actually is. Developed over 2,000 years ago, Stoicism is a philosophy founded in ancient Greece by Zeno of Citium. But it's philosophers like Marcus Aurelius, Seneca, and Epictetus who refined it into a way of life focused on inner peace, resilience, and wisdom. It's about controlling what you can and accepting what you can't, learning how to let go of things beyond your control and live in harmony with the natural flow of life. Stoicism teaches us that true freedom doesn't come from external successes or approval but from mastering our own mind. In today's world, filled with social media pressures, constant stress, and the hustle culture, Stoicism provides a timeless framework for achieving calm and control. Ready to dive into the principles? 3. Practical application. Now, let's get to the heart of today's video. How exactly can we apply Stoicism in our daily lives to master the art of letting go? We'll break down 7 essential principles that will help you achieve peace of mind and a stronger sense of control over your reactions to the world around you. Let's dive into the first one. Principle 1. Control what's within. Release what's without. Imagine this: you've had a rough morning, spilled coffee on your shirt, missed your train, and now you're stuck in traffic. These are classic examples of situations beyond our control. Yet, how often do these moments trigger frustration, anxiety, or even anger? The Stoic perspective offers a much more liberating mindset. Instead of letting external events dominate our emotions, we should focus on what we can control, our responses. This concept is best encapsulated by the famous Stoic philosopher, Seneca, who said, "We suffer more often in imagination than in reality." Seneca reminds us that it's not the events themselves that cause us pain, but our perception of them. When something goes wrong, we often catastrophize, imagining the worst possible outcomes. This magnifies our suffering and takes us further away from peace of mind. Stoicism teaches us that there are 2 distinct categories in life: things we can control and things we cannot. Marcus Aurelius, another leading Stoic philosopher, emphasized this point in his Meditations, writing, "You have power over your mind, not outside events. Realize this, and you will find strength." This simple yet profound insight is key to managing our reactions to life's inevitable ups and downs. What can we control? According to Stoicism, the only things truly within our control are our thoughts, beliefs, and actions. These internal elements are where our focus should lie. For example, while you can't control the fact that your train was delayed, you can control how you respond to that inconvenience. You could choose to get angry and stressed, or you could decide to use that time productively, perhaps by listening to a podcast or practicing mindfulness. The moment we shift our focus to what we can control, we regain our sense of agency and stop being victims of circumstance. This empowerment is central to Stoic teachings, as it helps us build emotional resilience. By continually reminding ourselves that our response is the one thing we can control, we diffuse the emotional intensity of unexpected events. Letting go of what you can't control. On the other hand, Stoicism encourages us to release the need to control external events. The world will unfold as it does, regardless of our desires or efforts. Stoics call this amor fati, or love of fate, the practice of accepting whatever happens as part of life's natural course. Epictetus, another influential Stoic philosopher, once said, "It's not what happens to you, but how you react to it that matters." This doesn't mean we shouldn't take action when we can influence the outcome. But it does mean that we should not allow events beyond our control to dictate our emotional state. For example, if you find yourself stuck in traffic, it's easy to get frustrated and feel like the universe is conspiring against you. However, in the grand scheme of things, this situation is minor and will soon pass. By choosing to let go of frustration and focusing on maintaining calm, you protect your inner peace. Practical application: next time life throws an unexpected event your way, whether it's a minor inconvenience or something more significant, try this Stoic exercise: pause and reflect. When you feel your emotions rising, pause for a moment. Ask yourself, can I control this situation? Reframe the situation. If the answer is no, consciously decide to release the need to control it. Remind yourself that your peace of mind is more valuable than external outcomes. Focus on your response, instead of wasting energy on what you can't change. Direct your attention to how you can respond. This could be by staying calm, finding humor in the situation, or focusing on what you can do in the moment. By following these steps, you'll find that many of life's stressors become less overwhelming. You'll develop a greater sense of freedom and emotional resilience, allowing you to face challenges with a calm, collected mindset. In summary, controlling what's within and releasing what's without is at the heart of Stoicism. By focusing on our thoughts and actions, and letting go of the uncontrollable, we empower ourselves to navigate life's unpredictability with grace and wisdom. The next time you spill your coffee or miss your train, remember, it's not the event that matters, but how you choose to respond. Principle 2. Embrace the present moment. In today's fast-paced world, where we are constantly bombarded with notifications, to-do lists, and future plans, it's easy to lose touch with the present. We often find ourselves either reminiscing about the past or worrying about the future, missing the beauty and simplicity of the current moment. Marcus Aurelius, one of the great Stoic philosophers, reminds us of the power of living in the now. He said, "Do not let the future disturb you, for you will arrive there if you must, with the same weapons of reason which today arm you against the present." This Stoic principle teaches us that worrying about the future doesn't equip us with the tools to handle it. Instead, it is in the present moment where we cultivate the resilience and wisdom needed to face the challenges of tomorrow. By focusing on the now, we enhance our ability to engage fully with life, build our mental fortitude, and enjoy what is right in front of us. The Stoics believe that being present is not just about paying attention, but about fully immersing yourself in your daily activities. Whether you're enjoying a simple meal, walking in nature, or spending time with loved ones, embracing the present allows you to experience life more deeply and meaningfully. It also reduces anxiety about things that are beyond our control, such as the unknown future. To practice this Stoic principle, make a conscious effort to slow down and appreciate the present moment. Cultivate mindfulness in your everyday actions, and remind yourself that life is lived in the now, not in the past or the future. By doing so, you will find more peace, clarity, and joy in each day. Principle 3. Accept change as nature's course. Change is one of the few constants in life, yet it's something many of us struggle with. Jobs change, relationships evolve, and our personal circumstances shift in ways we often don't expect. While it's human nature to resist these changes, clinging to the familiar, the Stoics offer a different perspective, one that emphasizes the acceptance of change as a natural and inevitable part of life. Epictetus, a prominent Stoic philosopher, wisely said, "It's not what happens to you, but how you react to it that matters." This statement encapsulates the Stoic mindset towards change. The events of life, including the shifts and upheavals, are beyond our control. What remains within our power, however, is how we choose to respond to these changes, rather than resisting and holding on to how things once were. Stoicism encourages us to embrace change as an opportunity for growth. Nature itself exemplifies the fluidity of change. Seasons transition effortlessly, rivers flow without resistance, and life evolves in cycles. When we accept change as part of this natural order, we cultivate resilience and strength. The Stoics teach us that by welcoming change, We align ourselves with life's natural rhythm. Much like a river flowing towards its destination. Fighting change only leads to frustration and suffering. But accepting it allows us to adapt, learn, and ultimately grow next time you're faced with a significant change in your life. Instead of seeing it as a setback, view it as an opportunity for personal development. Life's twists and turns are part of the journey. And by accepting them with grace, we can navigate the ever-changing landscape of life with greater peace and resilience. Principle 4, detach from external validation in today's hyper-connected world. Many of us are deeply dependent on external validation. Whether it's through social media likes, comments, or verbal approval from others. We often measure our worth based on how others perceive us. However, the Stoic philosopher Epictetus offers a liberating perspective. Man is not worried by real problems so much as by his imagined anxieties about real problems. This quote highlights how much of our distress stems not from real issues, but from our perception of them, especially our craving for approval. Stoicism teaches us that seeking validation from others is a fragile foundation for self-worth. When we rely on external praise, we are at the mercy of opinions, which can be inconsistent and fleeting. Stoicism encourages us to detach from this need for outside validation and instead focus on seeking approval from within. Our value should be measured by our adherence to virtues, such as integrity, wisdom, and courage, not by the number of likes on a post or the praise we receive from others. Epictetus and other Stoic philosophers emphasize the importance of self-reliance in building confidence. When we learn to validate ourselves through our values, actions, and character, we no longer feel the need to chase after external praise. This internal validation is stable and enduring. Unlike the transient nature of social approval. So, the next time you catch yourself seeking validation from others, pause and reflect on your internal values. Remember, your worth is intrinsic and not determined by how many people notice or praise you. True self-worth comes from living a life aligned with your values and principles, regardless of external opinions. Principle 5, recognize life's natural cycles. In life, loss is inevitable. Whether it's a favorite possession, a job, or even a loved one, everyone experiences the pain of losing something they hold dear. However, the Stoics offer a profound perspective on loss through the wisdom of Marcus Aurelius, who said, "Loss is nothing else but change, and change is nature's delight." This philosophy teaches that loss is not a devastating end, but part of the natural cycle of life, where every ending brings new beginnings. Stoicism encourages us to view life through the lens of impermanence. Everything around us, our possessions, relationships, and experiences, are temporary. Instead of fearing loss or clinging to what once was, Stoics believe in accepting the transient nature of all things. By recognizing that change is inevitable and necessary, we develop resilience. The loss of something doesn't signify the end, but rather a transformation or transition to something new. This principle invites us to live fully in the present, savoring each moment without fearing the eventual end. Whether it's the loss of a material possession or the passing of a loved one, Stoicism encourages us to honor the time we had and to let go gracefully when it is no longer part of our journey. The pain of loss is natural, but resisting change and refusing to move forward only prolongs suffering. In embracing this idea, we learn to appreciate life more deeply, valuing the present while accepting that every chapter in our life will one day close. Stoicism doesn't suggest that we avoid the sadness of loss, but that we embrace the change it brings, understanding that it is part of the natural flow of existence. Letting go gracefully, with acceptance, brings a sense of peace and allows us to continue growing in life's endless cycle of change. Principle 6, seek growth in adversity. Adversity is an inevitable part of life. Whether it's challenges at work, difficulties in relationships, or personal struggles, we all face obstacles. The Stoics believe that these challenges are not to be feared but embraced as opportunities for growth. As Seneca wisely said, "Difficulties strengthen the mind as labor does the body." This perspective shifts how we view adversity, from something to avoid, to something that can make us stronger and more resilient when we encounter difficulties. Our initial reaction is often frustration, anger, or self-doubt. However, the Stoic mindset encourages us to pause and reflect on how these challenges can actually benefit us in the long run. Each obstacle is a test of our character, a lesson in resilience, and an opportunity to develop strength. Rather than viewing adversity as a setback, Stoicism invites us to see it as a stepping stone toward personal growth in every challenge. There is a lesson waiting to be learned. Difficulties force us to confront our weaknesses, push our limits, and grow beyond what we thought was possible. Whether it's overcoming a career setback or navigating a complex personal situation, each moment of hardship is an opportunity to learn more about ourselves and the world around us. The Stoics believe that adversity is an essential part of the human experience, shaping us into stronger, wiser individuals. By adopting this mindset, we stop seeing adversity as something negative and begin to appreciate the valuable lessons it brings. Life is filled with moments that challenge our patience, resilience, and strength. Instead of succumbing to frustration, we can use these moments to refine our character, strengthen our minds, and build a more robust sense of self. Every hardship is a chance to grow, to become better, and to rise stronger than before. Ultimately, the Stoic philosophy teaches us that growth comes from embracing life's difficulties rather than avoiding them. With every challenge, we gain wisdom, patience, and fortitude. When we seek growth in adversity, we empower ourselves to live life with greater resilience, turning every hardship into a catalyst for personal development. Principle 7. Cultivate inner riches. In today's fast-paced world, where material wealth is often seen as the ultimate measure of success and happiness, Stoicism offers a refreshing alternative. Seneca famously remarked, "It is not the man who has too little, but the man who craves more, that is poor." This profound statement reminds us that true wealth is not found in material possessions but in the richness of our inner life, our character, virtues, experiences, and relationships in our society. It's easy to fall into the trap of equating happiness with external achievements and physical possessions. From luxurious cars to the latest tech gadgets, there's constant pressure to accumulate more. However, Stoicism teaches that this endless craving for more only leads to dissatisfaction. When we tie our happiness to material things, we become enslaved to them, always needing the next upgrade, the next accomplishment, or the next validation from others. The Stoics believed that inner contentment, which comes from cultivating virtues such as wisdom, courage, and self-control, provides a far more lasting sense of fulfillment than anything external. Material wealth is fleeting, possessions can be lost, broken, or become outdated. But the qualities we develop within ourselves, such as resilience, gratitude, and self-discipline, remain with us through all stages of life. True richness comes from living a life aligned with our values, nurturing our relationships, and learning from our experiences. These internal riches are what give life its depth and meaning. While it's perfectly fine to enjoy the comforts that material wealth can bring, Stoicism encourages us to not let them define our worth or happiness. Seneca's words prompt us to focus on the contentment that comes from within. By cultivating gratitude for what we already have, appreciating the beauty of simple moments, and valuing personal growth over material accumulation, we free ourselves from the anxiety of constantly wanting more. Ultimately, Stoicism reminds us that our worth is not determined by what we own, but by who we are. Inner contentment and self-sufficiency are the true marks of wealth. When we focus on building inner riches, our character, relationships, and experiences, we find a deeper, more enduring happiness that no external possession can provide. Point 4. Interactive section. Let's take a moment to reflect together. Think of a recent situation where you felt stressed or frustrated. Maybe it was something out of your control, like bad weather, a delayed flight, or a misunderstanding at work. How did you react? What if you had applied the Stoic principles we've discussed so far? Take a minute to think about how you could have controlled your reaction rather than the situation itself. Now, I'd love for you to try something. The next time you face a challenge or frustration, pause. Take a deep breath. And ask yourself, is this within my control? If it's not, practice letting it go. It's easier said than done. But with practice, you'll start to notice a shift in your inner peace. 5. Case study/real-life example. Let me share a real-life example from one of the greatest Stoics, Marcus Aurelius. As the Roman emperor, Marcus faced immense pressure from political enemies, wars, and even betrayal by those closest to him. Yet, despite all this, he never let external circumstances dictate his peace of mind. Instead of retaliating or falling into despair, he focused on self-control, patience, and wisdom. In his famous book Meditations, he wrote, "The best revenge is not to be like your enemy." Marcus understood that lashing out or holding on to anger didn't serve him. Instead, he focused on his duties and stayed true to his values. This mindset allowed him to rise above adversity without becoming bitter or resentful. So, how can we apply this to our own lives? Next time you face disrespect or challenges, ask yourself, can I respond with grace and wisdom rather than anger? 6. Summary and takeaways. To sum it all up, mastering the art of letting go isn't about becoming emotionless, it's about cultivating resilience, focus, and inner peace. Remember, control what you can, and release what you can't. Be present in the moment. Embrace change, and focus on what really matters. So, what can you do right now? Start by applying one of these Stoic principles in your life today. Maybe next time you face a frustrating situation, try the control what's within, release what's without principle and see how it changes your response. Over time, these small shifts will lead to greater peace and freedom. If you found these Stoic principles helpful, don't forget to hit the like button and subscribe for more insights on how ancient wisdom can transform your life today. I'd love to hear from you. What's one Stoic principle you're excited to try out? Drop it in the comments below. And hey, if you know someone who could use a little Stoic wisdom, share this video with them. Together, we can build a stronger, more peaceful community. Thanks for watching. And remember, stay Stoic.